Hi, pipe smokers. This is Paul the Pipe Guy, live from Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. And this is our little Sunday afternoon smoke and chat. It's 3:15 in the afternoon on Sunday, August 8th. And so we're going to be smoking, yes, out of my Peterson of Dublin. Love this pipe. And it is sandblasted. And it is a bowl number 606. I just love this pipe. I love the thick walls. Never overheats on me. Great draw on the pipe. And in it we're going to be smoking one of our nautical blends called by Cornell and Deal, called Blockade Runner. And I'll just briefly read again what's in this. A True Navy Cavendish crumble cake made with hand-stoved red Virginia and bright Virginia, soaked in premium rum for 7 days, then lightly stoved again before being pressed into a crumble cake. And my blends are still going on here with my rum in them, my smoky apple aromatic with Latakia, Latakia. And I shake them every day, rotate them. And then I have my Scotty's Butternut Burley with rum in it. Shake those up every day just to mix up the rum. So this was soaked in rum for 7 days. My blends will be soaked for 45 days, or until the day my grandson James Robert Millville is born. Then I will stove them at 120 degrees until it is somewhat dry, and put them back in these mason jars. So let's light up. I got some things I want to talk about. I recently did, oh, that's so good. Recently, my last video, I did a video dedicated to the Clyde Valley Care Home. One of my subscribers, Adam Park from who lives in Scotland, and like most of you people that do pipe reviews and so forth, pipe videos, like me, you have subscribers all over the world. I mean, I have subscribers in Japan, Germany, Switzerland, basically every major country. Scotland, Ireland, lots in the UK, England. It's very, very rewarding for me to do these videos. First of all, because pipe smoking is a passion of mine, but most importantly, and it's more important than the pipe smoking itself, are the people who are my subscribers. That it's extremely rewarding when I do a video. And for instance, this morning I woke up and I got a email from a gentleman who's one of my subscribers who lives in Pennsylvania, which is the state just below New York. And he said that, and I won't name him, he knows who he is. And I got an email that I really appreciated. It really made me feel good that I was able to make a difference in something that I love to do. I made a difference. He emailed me and basically said that he was at the mall and he was feeling pretty down. And then he realized Paul the Pipe Guy's coming out with a Thirsty Thursday video. And he said he immediately felt better. And that email meant so much to me that I was able to take someone that was feeling down. Not that I did anything, but that what I do for enjoyment makes a difference in certain people's lives. And people are much more important than this. Okay, this is just an enjoyment that a recreational thing that we have to make ourselves feel good, that we might enjoy. But I guess the real root thing that makes me happy is that when I'm able to do these videos and make people feel better. You know, this world is full of hate. You know, and the government drives a lot of it, in my opinion. You know, they want to diversify the people, because a house diversified or a country diversified is easy to control. When people are all on the same wavelength, a large group of people, it's hard to control them. So I think the government is very diversive. The news media is very diversive. So the world is full of all of that stuff. And I thank God every day that I live in the country that I do. I mean, there's some countries that are war-torn. There's no water. There's no electricity. You know, there's battles going on every day, people dying. It's horrible for some of those people in those countries that have to go through that and live with that on a daily basis. And I have met a few people from different countries that I've worked with. That lived in a war-torn country. Battles going every day and night. It's just those of us that live in countries and communities that don't have to put up with that should feel very fortunate. Life is pretty darn good. But going back to helping others, I think that it's important that one should always go out of your way to try to make somebody that's maybe not having a great day feel better. You know, I did that video on the Clyde Valley Care Home because Adam Park's girlfriend, he told me that a few of the residents there love to watch my videos. And so I dedicated one to them. I said, well, what do you think? And he's like, I love it, man. It's brilliant. I didn't think it was brilliant. I've done nothing special. All I did was mention them and talk about a few things. You can view the video for yourself. And he says, my girlfriend loves it. She's going to go in and show her boss, get permission to show the video for the staff and the residents there. And some of them are older, so I think it might be like a retirement type of community, assisted living. Some of them have have disabilities. So I just wanted to do something nice. It takes me back to a time My birth father, back around 1976, so we're talking a long time ago, ended up filing for divorce from my mother, and that was very, very hard for me. He packed his bags and asked me to help him carry them out to the car, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm leaving. And he says, take care of your mother. She's a really good mom. And those were the last words I heard from him for quite a few years. I didn't see him again. I think I was 11 when he left, and I didn't see him again until I was about 17. And that was hard. But my stepfather, who married my mom, and he was a wonderful father, just passed away a couple years ago from cancer. But he ended up adopting all four of us children, and was just a wonderful, wonderful father. You couldn't ask for a better father. But he ended up purchasing the house from my birth father that we were currently living in. And he had massive child support obligations and had to pay his ex-wife alimony. So he had a good job at Xerox, made a lot of money. But by the time I would say about 1976 or 77, he was probably making $35,000 to $40,000. But between taxes and $12,000 a year in child support and alimony, that took up probably more than half of his income. So there was one Thanksgiving, and they had just purchased the house, so basically all of their cash went to down payments and so forth and closing costs. And we lived good. We ate good. I mean, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, but there was not very much extra money left over after all the bills were paid. And we were just little kids. I mean, so we didn't know. Well, it was 1976, and it was couple days before Thanksgiving, and there was a loud knock on the door. Someone had walked inside of our garage and banged on the door really hard and left. And we went out, and there was a big cardboard box, and in the cardboard box it had a huge turkey, potatoes, all kinds of vegetables, cranberry sauce, all the fixings for a Thanksgiving dinner. And when my mother came out, she burst into tears. And I was like, well, what's going on, Mom? And she's like, we didn't think we would be able to afford a Thanksgiving dinner this year. And someone must have known that and brought us everything for a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, and what a good one it was. So someone took the time and their monetary assets and passed it on to us. We weren't poor. I mean, we had clothes, we had a roof over our head, we had food. I mean, we weren't eating steak, all right. But Mom was a good cook, and she was really able to make a dollar stretch. And what a wonderful blessing that was to receive. I don't think I understood it as a child, although now as an adult I do. So it's things like that. Or you could do something as simple as holding the door open for a person, giving them a smile, asking them how their day's going. You know, that sometimes means a lot. You don't know what's going on in people's lives and what you can do to help or ease the comfort. Sometimes I'll see old women with a cane or something at Walmart, and they're just sitting there alone, and I know they're either waiting for somebody who's shopping or and I'll sit down next to them and start talking to them. And it's amazing. You know, those people normally are cooped up in their house. They can't drive anywhere. And for someone to sit down for 10 or 15 minutes and just chat with them, ask them about their lives. They love to tell you about their lives. We're all going to be there. So, back to the Thanksgiving thing. I really don't tell too many people this. I don't know if I should or not, but I'm going to. This story. I did have a part-time job a few years ago at Walmart. I was running my concrete curbing business, and I was working about 32 hours a week at Walmart in the electronics department. And I woke up in the morning and was getting ready for work, and something told me, open up your safe and put a $100 bill in your pocket. And I don't question when the big guy upstairs puts something on my heart or in my mind. I don't question it. I just do it. So I did. I slipped a $100 bill in my pocket, and I didn't know why. So about halfway through my shift, this family of three, they were very clean. They came up with about 20 some odd dollars worth of bottle returns. In New York State and some of the other states, we have a bottle return where on every empty can or bottled water can or whatever, they have a 5-cent deposit. So you can return those and get money. So they had returned all of these cans and bottles to the automated machine up front, and it prints out a little receipt. So they had a few of these receipts, and they brought them back, and so I gave them, it was 20 some odd dollars, and I said it was 3 days before Thanksgiving, of approximately 2016. Which would have been almost 5 years ago. And so the mother, I mean, you could just tell they didn't have money. And then the two boys, one was probably about 14 and the other one was probably about 11. And the one big brother had his arm around the younger brother, and you could just tell they loved each other. You could tell that there was no substance abuse going on there or any of that kind of stuff. I can just feel things. And so I said to him, I says, hey, are you guys all ready for Thanksgiving? And you going to have a good Thanksgiving? And the older boy put his head down. I said, what's the matter, bub? He says, well, if we can collect enough bottles and cans, we'll be able to afford a turkey on Thanksgiving. Wow. I reached into my pocket. I grabbed that $100 bill. And with both hands, I grabbed the mother's hand, the woman's hand, and I shook her hand like this, and I said, you will have a good Thanksgiving. And I slipped the $100 bill into her hand, and she opened her hand and she says, "Oh my gosh, I can't take this." And I said, "Yeah." I said, you can take it. I was told to put this in my pocket for a reason. And now I know what that reason was. She says, "But I can't take it. I'll have to pay you back." And I said, "No." I says, "There's such a thing called tithing, where you take 10% of your income and you give it to the church or charitable things, and or use it to help people out. Doesn't always have to go to the church. The church will tell you, oh yeah, it has to all go to the church. That's bullshit. All right? Jesus Christ said, feed the poor and love one another. Those two things is all he said. Those two things, if you feed the poor and love one another, cover everything else that the Bible has to say. And I said, so this doesn't have to go to the church. It's going to your family. And then I told her the story that I woke up and my Creator said, put a $100 bill in your pocket, and now I know why. I said, you're going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And she burst into tears, walked around the counter, and gave me a hug. And I'm sure they had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Those are rare times when something like that comes my way. I think it was more rewarding for me to be able to help somebody than that person being helped, although I'm sure they very much appreciated it. But you don't have to run around town giving away money and all that stuff, you know. I think it's important, like I said, that we love one another and care about one another. And I'm so grateful that I can do these videos that occasionally will make a difference in someone's life in a positive way. Like the one subscriber that was feeling down. And I've gotten other emails from other subscribers and people thanking me, you know, for the videos I make. I do it because it's a passion for me, but on the side, it's extremely rewarding when someone reaches back and says, hey, you know, what you said made sense to me and it helped me. And believe me, I'm far from perfect. I like my Bush beer. I like my cigarettes. I am not perfect. Very far from perfect. But I try to be a good person, and I have my beliefs. And I love helping people. I do. So, I mean, the offer is there for anyone that wants to share anything that good has happened to you in your life recently. I love to recognize and celebrate other people's achievements. I do, even more than my own. You know, when somebody does something or they achieve something, I go all out and hey, that's awesome, you know, high-fiving them, celebrating it, you know. Or there's sometimes there's people that just are down, and I'll sit and talk with them, listen to them, more listening than me talking, and just chatting with them and seeing if there's anything that I can do, help them work the problems out. Sometimes you just have to accept those things that you've been dealt in life and just deal with them. But here's my email address. It's Paul Gilson 1964 at gmail.com. And anyone that wants to privately email me, you are more than welcome to. I'd love to hear from you. If you have something great that you want to share that is you've accomplished, I'd love to hear about that. If you have something that in your life that's just bothering you and or you're tortured by, or you're just feeling bad and just need somebody to talk to, email me. If you feel that. There's some people out there that feel, and I think a lot of us, most of us, at one point or another in our lives have felt that, is life really worth living? And yes, it is. If you feel that life isn't worth living, if you're feeling down or whatever, email me. I'd love to chat with you. I would. So, like I said, there's enough hate and violence and so forth in the world. I feel very, very fortunate to live in the country and community that I do, where there's not a lot of crime, there's not a lot of bad stuff going on, So a funny story, I was working at Walmart a few years ago part-time, and I'm a pretty good judge of character. All right, so this kind of short, little punchy type of guy. You ever see somebody that you just know is just like always agitated and they always want to fight or they always want to argue? This was this guy. All right, and so he comes into the electronics department, and he had been to one of our other stores in a different town, and they told him that we had a certain TV for a certain price, and that we had 3 of them, and they misquoted him. The TV was like $250 more, and we didn't. We did have them, but they gave him a price misquote. So one of my young associates is working with this punchy guy, argumentative, and just, you could tell his life is just one big roller coaster of problems and drama. And so my young associate, he was about 20 years old, he comes back and he's like, we do have the TVs in stock, but they're $1,250, not $1,000. And he's like, what? He says, they quoted me that. You have to give me that price. And he's like, well, I can't. That's the price. He's like, I'm going to go back and find that lady that told me that, and I'm going to punch her in the head. And I'm listening to all this. Now, he starts to get on my younger associate. So I look at him and I says, hey, brother, how you been, man? I walk up, shake his hand with 2 hands. I was like, how the heck have you been? What's going on? And he's like, do I know you? I said, you don't remember me? I'm just feeding him a line of crap. He's like, no, I don't. I says, oh, man, we used to go to this bar and that bar and shoot pool and stuff. I can't believe you don't remember me. And he's like, I totally derailed him off of where his thoughts are. Now he's trying to figure out, who the heck is this guy? I says, look, man, why don't you tell me what's going on? And so he told me the story, and I said, well, let's do this. Let me call the store manager over, let me talk to him, and let's see if we can work this out. So you're a satisfied customer, and obviously Walmart made a mistake, and I'd like to try to make good on it. He's like, oh, okay. Now he's totally unconfrontational. I diffused him just by doing a simple thing like that. Now, this 19, 20-year-old kid isn't going to know how to do that. I've worked jobs for, decades where you had angry people that were promised things, and because of their credit or whatever, their monthly payment on their car went up, and So I had to diffuse a lot of angry people. So I actually got pretty good at the craft of doing that. You first start out and agree with them and say, let's see if we can work this out. And they're totally. So I get the store manager over. I tell him the story, and I says, look, I really think, and you're the boss, I really think we should honor the price he was quoted, just to make him happy. I mean, we're not going to lose money. Even if we lose a little bit of money, we sell so much. Walmart has a lot of money. He's like, he says, I was going to split the difference with him, but you know what? After listening to you, Paul, I agree with you. Let's just make the guy happy. Let's make him a customer for life. And let's get him out of here. And I said, great. So I walked over, shook his hand. I said, all right, you got the TV for the price you were quoted. It was Walmart's mistake, and enjoy your TV. And he's like, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Nobody's ever done anything like that for me. And the reason why they hadn't is because the guy was so obstinate and confrontational. Who would want to help a guy like that? Well, he's got problems. I want to help a guy like that. If I can make a difference in his life or do something to make him, it might change things for him. So the funny part of it is my shift ends and I go out the door, and he's standing there pacing back and forth, and he's on his phone. I was like, hey man, everything okay? And he's like, yeah, I got the TV and everything for the price, but now I go out to load it in my Chevy Impala. Somebody stole my car, and when I find him, I'm going to punch him in the face. I says, I don't blame you. I says, good luck. I slapped him on the back. I never knew what happened, but oh well. So anyways, that's our Sunday smoke together. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be kind to one another, love one another, help one another, help those who cannot help themselves. Helping those who cannot help themselves is the true meaning of love. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy, live from Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Over and out.